That, I'd like, Chief Merritt, do we have our pictures behind this slide? Will you please walk us through the pictures of our recent fire that we had in town?
I think most everyone's aware that we've had the driest spring and early summer in a while. And part of the information that I provided for you is a description of what we call fuel moisture, 1 hour fuels, 10 hour fuels, 100 hour fuels, and I think most of us all understand those. And even though we had a pretty good gully washer over the weekend already, our 1 hour fuels, which are the flashy, grassy fuels, are back in the high danger standpoint. And we provided you some charts and what have you, evidence of some of that activity, and one of them is fairly predictable. The fire on the 4th of July, which is on a somewhat southwestern exposure, fairly wide open up above the railroad tracks, which we've got pictures of. We would have expected that kind of fire spread. We've seen it before, but the first fire on July 3rd was a significant surprise to us. The one that's up just beyond the end of McNeil was over an embankment. And you want to give me the next slide there. This doesn't really do you much justice, but this is a very steep hillside, and I'm not familiar with the correct name of the park that's right around the corner from the end of McNeil where you head up Ridgeway. There's that little kind of a trail. Just beyond that park is right above in here. What you're looking at is a fairly steep slope, and it's under heavy forest canopy where you would normally find your fuel moistures are significantly wetter. And a fairly quick moving fire and a hot fire. We had one tree that burned up 15 feet up the tree. Was fairly labor intensive. Go ahead, Aaron. It was fairly labor intensive. I spent 3-4 hours on in this one in particular. Had a little bit of access problems, but probably the biggest surprise was that the duff and the moss and the fuels underneath there are so dry that it supported a fire of that magnitude. Go ahead. If you got another one, go ahead. This would be the fire on the 4th of July. Both of them are fireworks related, as evidenced by our last slide. There was evidence in both of those that it was a result of fireworks. Actually, the fires weren't that far apart from one another. In the case of the one above the railroad tracks, it appears there were youngsters or teens or someone there that were throwing M800s at the train. And set the hillside on fire, and when the fire took off, they left their M800s and a little walkie-talkie radio that we have.